All right, there we are.
There we are.
I still get a kick out of like how not that different your camera looks, except for like everything behind you, like your couch, you like, or your chair. It's all in the same position, but it's different back there.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot more depth of field.
Yeah, you've got most of your games set up on the shelf, right?
Yeah. I mean, I basically have all my games set up. It's just been fun to unpack them, especially since we didn't have a lot of boxes. So I had to unpack them because we need to reuse the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 of my big shelves, and then they gradually get smaller. And I had 2 shelves that were in different parts of the old house. They're exactly the same size. So what I did is I like nailed them, I screwed them together. I drilled all the way through and just like connected them, so it just made like a big long one.
A long one. You'd make it taller.
No, I just made it really long. But yeah, I mean, eventually I will replace the smaller ones with bigger ones. But as it is right now, everything is on there, and I think my kids are more excited about it than anything.
More excited about your game shelf being like out and visible,
where they can see it. I mean, my daughter was like, "Ooh, I want to play this on my 3DS," and I'm like, "Okay, so you can take one and you go and play it, but you got to think of it like a library. You can't have 2 out at one time.
Yeah,
you can take one and play it, but if you want to take another one, you got to bring the other one back."
Mm-hmm.
That's probably no fun for them, and it probably sounds no fun, but I don't want it to get lost. I don't want stuff to get lost.
Exactly. Well, it's what is she taking an interest in from your 3DS shelf?
She's just playing New Super Mario 2 right now, which is I mean, kind of want her to play like a Kirby game.
But do you have Plant Robobot?
I do.
That's probably my favorite game on 3DS. That game is amazing.
Yes, it's good. I've only played it one time, but I did really enjoy it.
All right, well, should I get going here?
Yeah. So this is a whole new world, and I actually just watched the Aladdin, the live action Aladdin last night. So this is appropriate.
Oh,
in a way.
Yeah, this was a game that I hadn't heard of until there was a limited run of it, and I think they sold it the same day that they sold Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.
Right, and that's why it has the Konami themed box.
Yeah. I mean, because it's a very NES looking kind of game.
Yeah. What's the Pro interface?
I don't know.
There's hidden things that looks like unlockables.
The Pro interface things. I think I got stuck in the menu somehow by going into the Pro interface.
Awesome.
Whoops.
You broke it already.
I broke it already. That's promising. I actually like
it's when broke. Are you happy now?
When I got the game, I actually played like the first level, so I didn't have any problems then. But I mean, it seemed fun. So I put this in the back of my mind to stream sometime. I think you play as like a potion master. Yeah, that's the file I guess I played 2 levels, but I'm gonna start over, because that was quite a while ago. So the hook of this game is that the world of darkness has broken through to your world.
Yeah, figures.
Yeah, I know, right? And when you fall in a pit in this game, instead of it being a bottomless pit, you actually fall through seamlessly into the dark world, and it's like upside down.
Oh, we got a $2 donation from JJJ John, who says, "Good evening, gents. Just got off work and tuning in." Well, welcome. Uh-oh, Sophia's definitely coming down here. I heard her crying down there. She likes to come down here and hang out.
Oh yeah, you said that you thought she might have been turned off from the basement.
Yeah, but maybe she likes it more. She liked to sneak into the basement if she could in the old house.
Sneak into it? Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
If we were like working down there or something. Yeah. So, all I gotta say is one time she'll come down. Maybe.
I didn't think cats actually listen to their name.
No, well, sometimes she does. That's interesting. So it's just an upside down world.
Yeah, I remember when I was like exploring it when I played before, and there wasn't like a whole lot to like collect or anything as far as I found, but there are certain times where you like have to go down there because of like a barricade or something, or you know, just like there I just like fell down the pit. I'm sure there's stuff to find later, but I don't know if it's worth like being overly like.
So here she comes. Come here. Hey. Come here. In a way, the gameplay and how it's kind of this weird character who throws potions, it feels more like an NES game than a lot of these NES-like games tend to. Like, it seems like such a weird.
It just has like a weird concept. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely can agree with that. It hits the NES mark a lot closer than a lot of other stuff. I think like Oniken and Odalis are pretty close to the mark on NES.
Yeah.
The color palette isn't exactly NES. I think it's got like a more yellow, a more meow like yellow.
Yeah.
That's what I always think of when I think of 8-bit yellow. Like it's not NES. I always think of meow.
Avio Hiccups has an interesting question. It says if you can only pick one clone console, emulator console or FPGA console. I mean, I don't know if it just depends on who like how well done it is, I guess.
Yeah. I mean the Mister would be the easy answer since you can play so much on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's really a fair answer. Like if you didn't include the Mister, I mean that's kind of a tough call. Like let's assume that it's something that you can use real cartridges on.
Right.
So that, you know, in that sense, that like eliminates the advantage of say the NT Mini, because it's like, oh well, you can play NES on it, but you can also play all this other stuff. I would probably choose that, but you can't use like Atari cartridges or anything.
Yeah, am I seeing shimmering on the in those doors?
The scaling is not perfect. The shimmering is not as bad as it is in, you know, some. I mean, it probably looks worse just because of the stream. Like it's not as bad as some non-integer scaling that I've seen. But yeah, the scaling is not done as I prefer.
Oh, Jumata says that I installed the Xeno GC this week as my first soldering project.
Is that like the old GameCube mod chip? Oh, hey, I rescued a cat. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the main mod chip for it, I guess, at this point. It lets you play backups. After being inspired by the battery change video. looking to change out some Pokemon batteries too. I mean, I think what you've already done is way harder than the batteries. Probably. That's good. I mean, it's just like once you kind of get into it, I think it's pretty addicting and fun.
Are you going to have like a dedicated like soldering station?
Yeah, my wife and I are both gonna have like a table, like a folding table that we can both do stuff on. Oh, first off, we had a $2 donation from Warren Hokie, who says thoughts on the new Rad 2X cables, a video maybe. Yeah, I mean, we're hoping to do a video on them and like all the other HDMI alternatives, like all in one.
Probably a mini style video.
Yeah, but I mean, right now, you know, I'm not in a place where I can really shoot here yet. Yeah,
and besides, like, I've got a lot of the cables that we want to test as well. Oh, I can just back into that. And I'm in full editing mode on part 1 of the documentary series. So
yeah, ideally it'll be released this month. I mean, by the end of the month.
Yeah, I mean, I will be very disappointed if that does not happen. But that's my goal. Like we said before, originally, all 5 parts were going to release like 5 weeks in a row. That is no longer happening. But
hopefully like one a month.
Yeah, that's the idea. One a month.
I think it'll go over better that way, anyways, because it won't dominate the channel for a month.
Right. Well, and two, like now that like I'm like in full editing mode, I'm kind of realizing that like there's no way I would have been able to do this, like to do all of these and then like release them.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be done one at a time, like a normal episode.
Yeah. We had a $2 donation from Jonathan Hinson, who said, "I finally picked up a."
That's fun. The first stage was all the way on the right, and now they took me all the way to the left.
Jonathan Hinson says, "I finally picked up a DE10 Nano, and the SDRAM module is on the way from Mr. Add-ons. I would love to see you guys do a Mr. video. Definitely happening." I found myself becoming very passionate about the Mr. in these last several months. So I'm eagerly looking forward to doing that. Like I said, am everything is in a state of flux here. So once I am in a place where I can like basically just focus on an episode, I mean, it's happening.
I hoped to stream from my new analog room this week, but I needed to get a few more cables. I needed a new PVM cable from the SCART because I traded someone for a SCART Lite, someone that wanted one of the ones with the D-sub output. And, so I had that old D-sub to BNC cable for outputting to there. And all the other, like, Wookiee Win cables that I had were, like, unidirectional, like, they were intended, like, going out from a PVM to, like, the FrameMeister.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really understand why those cables have to be unidirectional, but they are. So I had to order a new one that would, go from the SCART Lite. So I still need that, and I also just ordered a Retro Access Dreamcast cable.
Oh,
and
cool.
And another cable. So yeah. So I just not quite hooked up, and like the PVM would be in the way of installing all the rest of those cables, so I didn't want to deal with it.
Understandable.
So
we also had a $1.99 from Gaming Blows, who says thoughts on the Mr. FPGA. Well, I mean, that came in right after the Jonathan Hinson one. I mean, I love it. I love it. I've not hooked mine up. I haven't really played a game since I've moved. Although I did just want to see how the TV feels like in this new space, and I did boot up for a second Resident Evil 2. I was like, oh, that might be fun. That might be a fun first game to play down here. So I might, if I can find some time to do it, maybe that's what I'll play. But I have not hooked up the Mister yet. It's right over there though. I don't have any way to set up all the systems yet. They're just like, you can see them in the, I don't know if you can really see them. I guess they're cut off on the stream. But it's like right over here. There's a whole bunch of, they're on metal racks, but they're not going to stay on the metal racks.
Oh, geez.
All right, I can unpause the stream and catch up here. There is a lot of arcade cores. I mean, like that are relevant to my interest. I know that there is a Wonder Boy arcade core that has recently been completed.
Did you see? I saw it posted on Retro RGB. There was the decapping video that Furtek did.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
It was pretty cool.
Is it the Taito one?
Yeah, it was Taito. If you remember Taito.
Oh, sometimes I mean, how could I not? Sometimes I forget about them, but yeah, I mean, I'd seen it linked before. Yeah, I'm excited about this Sega System 1 core, because I know that the first one that came out was Flicky.
How many different games could run from that? Like,
I'm pretty sure that just makes it so that all, I mean, it's easy to transfer it to other System 1 games. I mean, I don't know how many games are on the system or released for that. Oh, we got a $9.99 from Sean Quinn.
Wow, thank you.
It says, have you had any recent news on the EverDrive N8 Pro? Also, have you noticed that the SNES2 has had a name change? We will be doing a update video on all the flash cards. It'll be a mini styled episode, but we're gonna talk about the N8 Pro, the SNES, or what is it called now? The is it like the something pack? Is it like FD pack or something like that?
FX pack?
FX pack, that's it.
Which is really, I mean, it's not a bad name for it. It's just going to take getting used to.
Yeah. And the Master System X7 and the N64 X7.
So you ended up sending that
I sent you the
N8 Pro. Yeah, which yeah. I honestly don't know anything about its features, so why don't you enlighten us?
Well, the main thing is that it's, I mean, at least for the main thing for me is that you can have up to 100 save states in it.
Oh wow.
Which is, it's good for capturing footage. I mean, that's the main reason it excites me. It will work with like larger ROM the games. So like the games that are being made with that like the NES Maker thing will run on it.
Oh, okay.
Like the larger and like larger hacks and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look at the list. But I mean, I just thought it would be well worth doing a video on all those, because I mean the EverDrive video is one of our most popular like non-RGB videos, and it's a good way to just update on all like on newer versions, because we do get a lot of questions about them, Or there's always questions say like, hey, did you know that the SD to SNES now supports Super FX games? And yeah, of course, but that wouldn't warrant a full video from us. So we can talk about all that stuff in one long video.
There was a comment recently on that video that was like, it is not emulation. It's like, yes.
Sterling Johnson is saying, have you guys seen the new Genesis game, Xenocrisis? And yeah, I mean, it was in our year-end video, the games that we played in 2019. It's an excellent game.
I'm definitely going to make use of it in some capacity in the doc series too, because there's a couple of instances where, you know, I mentioned like homebrew and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I like how the weapon I got from the boss doesn't have like a limited use. Like I just switch whatever weapon I want.
How is the music in this?
It's okay. It's not like Konami, like the box art makes you want to think, but it's not bad.
Yeah. Is there Magishman is asking if there's a version of Xenocrisis that supports twin stick, and I'm pretty sure that the Switch version supports it. I'm not sure if there's a PS4 version.
That hasn't been sold yet, has it? Because I definitely want to I want to order the Switch version.
No, there has not been a physical.
But it is announced, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's coming. I think that.
Is it strictly limited?
Strictly limited, I think, is doing it. Now we got 10 reals. I assume it's Brazilian reals from Desma. Thank you. It says, wanted to take note of something that I didn't see on your 4K video. For HDR content, I had to set my HDMI black levels to low, while non-HDR stuff, I had to set it to normal.
Correct.
Gave me a bit of headache. Yeah, that.
I thought I had mentioned that in the video, but or at least I think what I had said was, and I think
HDR will always switch to uses low.
HDR always uses like a YUV format, just because of the bandwidth that's like available to us now. Like HDMI 2.1, technically it wouldn't have to be, but I wouldn't expect like, I mean, with current TVs and current systems, you're going to have to, it's going to be in a YUV format. It's not going to be RGB, which RGB is the one that has the limited range and the full range, which in turn, you know, determines like black levels high or low. So, so I may have not said that specifically, but I'm pretty sure we said that HDR is always YUV, and I may have neglected to mention that YUV is, in turn, low black level. It's the same as limited range, which is what is so annoying about the PS4, because it wants to go to automatic settings all the time, which with automatic settings, it's like, oh, I'm going to be full range because whatever. But then your that's not the same black levels for HDR stuff. So it's annoying. I don't like that aspect of the PS4, but the Xbox One menu experience is a horrible thing, except they do a lot right with the video settings.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's definitely the best part of the Xbox One like system side experience. I much prefer their video settings than the PS4.
We got a $27 donation.
Whoa!
From Lekarjin. I assume that's how you say it. It says, greetings from Iceland, my dear friends. Just wanted to support you in some way. You've kept me entertained through one of the hardest flus I've ever caught.
Oof.
Was showing my little nephew Superman 64. Guess I'm cursed now.
Well, I mean that game. I've played more of that game than most people. I really wanted to beat it, but like I could not commit. I wonder if I could find myself a little more willing to stick with it these days. I don't know. It's hard to say. I did get pretty far though. I don't know, level 4 or 5. It's the indoor levels that are so bad.
The Iceland's definitely on like after Japan is the #1 place I want to go. In the world. I wonder if I don't know if they watched like Arjun like watched the year-end video. Maybe they appreciated me talking about like comparing Death Stranding's walking through the world to a Sigur Rós album.
Yeah, I had to look up what that was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what made me think of.
I could. The little tiny bit I looked into it, I could understand what you were saying.
Yeah. We also got a $10 donation from Marcos Gonzalez. Thank you. It says, what are some of your favorite gaming YouTubes? Already watched Gaming Historian and The Completionist. Thanks. I love your channel. I definitely feel like one of my favorite is Classic Gaming Quarterly. I really have spent a lot of time watching his or rather listening to the CGQ Plus side channel he has, where it's more about his just like his life experiences and stuff, and it's really good because it's basically just like Chris talking. And when I was working on the house and moving everything, I put CGQ Plus like just on my phone and just like listen to it like as if it was a podcast for like hours each day. So I mean, I highly recommend that. Of course, I see like GameSack, of course, and DF Retro, and also Jeremy Parrish's channel is very good. Game Dave.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see some new content from Dave pretty soon. But he's been in a similar situation as me, like moving to a new house, and his game wall is like bigger than mine. I see that. Yeah, I see some Sigur Rós appreciation there. The thing that makes me think made me think of Death Stranding is the music video for I don't really know how you say it, but it's like Glassuli, off their third album. It's like the first song, but the music video is is these kids walking through the world, or like Iceland, and it's kind of volcanic looking and everything. That's just what it made me think of.
I can get that.
Yeah. And I've seen them live a number of times. I see some people saying they saw them live, and it's quite an experience. It's almost the first time I saw them, I think it was like after the Parentheses album came out, and it was a life-altering experience, I'd say.
You often say that about concerts.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's two major ones that I always attribute to that, but I mean that would be one of them. It's like, I mean, it's the power of music, man. Like being witnessing it being played. I mean, it's It's the power of music.
Oh, I guess you can't be revived in boss fights.
I see. That's true. I see QE CRC 420 is also mentions Bithead 1000. And Jimmy Hoffa, Import Gaming for the win. Also well worth checking out. And also I see is Stop Skeletons for Fighting and Happy Console Gamer. All worth checking out. And of course, Retro RGB.
Indeed.
Bob Coral says Margaret Qualley's vocal fry body really annoyed me. I did think about that. It didn't bother me, but I definitely thought about it.
What thought about what?
Mama's her vocal fry, where it's like talking like this.
Oh.
It's like the vocal like. I mean,
No.
I can't. It's like the best way I can do it. Vocal fry.
No, that didn't bother me. I didn't think about it at
I
all.
mean, I thought about it. It didn't bother me, but it didn't. I thought about it for a second. No, Melagaming, you saw a Perfect Circle, huh? I saw them open for 9 Inch Nails, I think, in like 2000, maybe. That was it.
Whoa. I did not want to be down there right now, I guess.
I just realized I had the stream paused for a really long time. Yeah, I think that was what's the 9 Inch Nails album, the double album? I can't think of it. No, that was the tour. Fragile. That's it. Fragile. Yeah, I saw him at in Buffalo. What was that year? That must have been 2000, I think. A long time ago. That was one of the concert tickets that I don't have. A while back, I did a video log on like all my different concert tickets. It's a little something different.
I used to save movie tickets, but they just like don't print them on good paper anymore.
Yeah, I mean it wears off so easily now. I was recently talking about how I had my original Mortal Kombat movie ticket. I'll have to dig that out. It's the heaviest band I like. I don't know. I don't really know how to think of it in terms of like I don't know. I never really considered it.
I don't really know what the gems do. I'm assuming they're just points. Which I don't know if those do anything useful.
Yeah, nice comment from Hatred, which is like opposite of what you'd expect. Says, thanks for all you guys do. With help from you guys, I've taken all my old school systems to the next level. The RGB Video Masterclass series you guys have is great, and I've learned a lot. Well, thanks, Hatred. I appreciate it. It's just funny because it's like you'd expect, you know. Oh, those that weapon alternates between ice and fire every bounce it does.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
I'm sure if you knew like really what you were doing, you could like really time that with some cool moves. I hope that like people who like the RGB series will watch the documentary series, because it's a lot of it, a lot of stuff we're going to talk about in there is like stuff that you all probably already know, but it's also like, you know, talking to the people who make it happen. You know, it's basically the documentary version, you know. Oh gosh,
We got another donation from Lekarjan. I'm just saying, Greece from Iceland, you've helped me through the worst flu I've ever caught. I'm hoping that it didn't go through twice. Might want to check on your stuff.
Oh,
make sure that
those are
twice
platforms. I didn't realize those were platforms.
Yeah.
I'm doing bad.
And if he didn't mean to, then I'm not sure how.
I know someone refunded or
Was,
someone may have mistake donation once before, and they were able to get it.
yeah, I'm not sure
easily.
exactly how to go about doing it though. Well, thank you.
I hope I'm going the right way.
Finally, 27 for every hat. This is not NES, but it does a pretty good job of playing the part. I think this is on PS4. I think someone Spencer Presley says not a lot of people know this, but this game has a Vita port. If you want to be extra cool.
Oh, I did not. Well, did Limited Run do the Vita version? If they did, I sure forgot about it.
I'm not sure.
I wonder if the scaling is better.
This game, it goes all in on the drumsticks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like all health is like
I mean, you know, that's
like the drumsticks.
I can
drumsticks.
respect that. It's, you know, it's,
Yeah,
between that,
you don't need anything else.
I know. I mean, I do enjoy a good recovery hamburger though.
Yeah. I've eaten so poorly these last 2 weeks. I can't even explain it, because I like to think that I make up for it by going up and down 3 flights of stairs
Sure.
17 times a day. Oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do the Ben Brody?
$2, but you have to say it like Mickey Mouse.
You gotta do a laugh. You gotta have
Yeah, I can't get a Mickey Mouse voice going without, you know, a little just like you can't do Goofy without starting with gosh. You know, it's your little warm up, right? Now, if you were to ask Donald Duck, I'd be lost. I don't know how to do it. Mickey Mouse got Sandy's attention.
But I mean, I finally had to take those VHS tapes out, and it wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was dreading it.
Did you fit them all in one run?
Yes, I was able to fit them all in one carload, but I had to take them all the way down from the attic, put them in the car, and taking it I was able to carry like 6 boxes at a time,
Mm-hmm.
which was, it only took me, I think it took me like 10 or 11 trips total.
I feel
But then I had to
like
take them here and then bring them down to the basement here. But they're all like in storage, and it's not too bad. I mean,
I feel like when I was moving them, I at first was like trying to take like one box more than I should, and I kept having too many mishaps, and finally was like, okay, look, I gotta cap it at 5 or gotta cap it at 6, whatever it was. Whoa.
Whoa, look at that. That's kind of cool. They just stay on fire the whole time. They don't.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they die unless you hit them again.
This is called Illegal Priest. This is called A Whole New World. Yeah, check out Brian Hall on YouTube. He does a spot-on impression of Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. It's incredible.
Like, doing Donald has to be like a crazy talent, really.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, I think it's the composer that did Alundra and Gravity Rush, who supposedly is friends with the Japanese Donald Duck. And he is apparently so good at doing the voice that, like, he has been asked by the Japanese Donald Duck to, like, be the Japanese Donald Duck if anything ever happens to him.
Really? That's kind of cool. That's fun. Warren Hokie says, did you see the crazy modder that made GameCube controller Joy-Cons for the Switch? Absolutely crazy. I saw it linked some.
Yeah, I saw it linked, but I didn't actually look at it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think our Discord, someone linked it. I think it was.
I mean, it didn't interest me a whole lot. I mean, I'm not to say it's not impressive, but it's just like, what would I do with GameCube Joy-Cons? I mean, there's no GameCube games on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a, like, gotta have a GameCube controller for Smash guy. As much as I like the GameCube controller. I mean, I think the button layout is the best button layout ever, but it doesn't map correctly to Nintendo's Diamond layout. So I don't know what you would do with it other than Smash. But definitely very cool.
Yeah, I want a fully functional left Joy-Con with a Pro Controller quality D-pad, preferably with a stronger central pivot on it.
I mean, I prefer the button D-pad to the actual Pro Controller D-pad, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. The Pro Controller D-pad is certainly flawed. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel kind of weird, like, not hating the button D-pad, but like I've played quite a few quite a few, D-pad games, like, in portable mode. And I don't know. I can't explain it, but I like it. I feel like I shouldn't, but I do.
That's all right. I see that. Who was it? I just scrolled up here. Raxel is saying that Shinobi from M2 is coming to Sega Ages on Switch soon in Europe. Is there a release date in the US? Do you know? Because I've been waiting for this since like before Christmas.
Is it Arcade Shinobi, or does it also include Master System?
It's just the arcade version. Oh, 23rd January. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm definitely going to buy that one. I've been looking forward to it. I'll tell you, though. Did you see that arcade 1-up? There's a Sega arcade 1-up machine coming.
For Shinobi?
It has Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder on it for like the first ever like
re-release.
Yeah, I mean first ever release non-arcade ever.
Wow.
I mean it's kind of a big deal.
I wonder if that's a sign that something could come.
Hopefully that's what's going to happen. But I mean it's like a 4-player, or it's 3 or 4 players. I mean but it also has like Altered Beast. It has Shinobi. I think it might have the original Golden Axe on it. It has several different things, and it's like they're gonna make me buy one of those machines, aren't they? Like that's like the thing that's gonna make me get one. I mean, if it's, I mean, I can fit it in a new space. I mean, but that is the one that's gonna sell it to me. Oh, I got it. That's funny. So it goes. Gotta get through a little passage there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I like the Turtles one looked pretty good, but it's the Sega one that's gonna do it.
So you said you heard that they've improved their scaling supposedly since the Final Fight one, which is the one that I've got, which has really bad scaling.
That's what I've heard, is that they have improved the quality quite a bit, because I think that it was more of like I don't want to say like a cash grab at first, but it was I don't think they expected them to be as popular as they ended up being. So they did a better job with later ones and like had like a hardware revision. There's a $5 donation from Zachary Drummond. Thank you. It says, tips on PS2 controllers. My analog buttons don't send full value to the max press anymore. Good replacement options. Also, is there an MLiG Discord? Currently, in terms of the Discord, it's just we have it available for Patreon supporters. I'm not sure if it's something that will like open up later on or not. But in terms of the analog buttons, how do you even test that? I mean, what games fully use that?
Metal Gear Solid is what I think.
Probably like a driving game. But
I mean, honestly, off the top of my head, like Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 are the only games that I even know of that do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. Like,
it's a stupid function. They shouldn't have done it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, I guess it's good for Kojima.
Yeah, because he always likes to like, oh, if there's like some weird hardware function, he's definitely going to use it.
Yeah. We got a $9.99 from Paul Sutton. Thank you. Says, please do get that one up and do a review. The other reviews on YouTube are pretty useless. Their games is good, yet no performance presentation discussion. Scaling? What's that? You did a... since we're doing a best way to play Final Fight episode, we actually got contacted a long time ago by somebody from, like, maybe it's like a PR company that handles stuff for Arcade 1-Up, asking if there's anything that we were interested in. And we saw that they had the Final Fight one, and they sent it to you, and that will be featured in the episode whenever that happens.
Which is,
but you did a video log of assembling it and then trying it out, and you were not impressed with the scaling.
No, the scaling is extremely bad. But I mean, I think it's pretty fun. I mean, it seems to play fine. Pretty sure there's definitely sound lag, but yeah, the scaling is some of the worst I've ever seen. Is that video log available to the public now?
I should check. I haven't updated that playlist, but I will after the stream tonight. I just put everything on it because we haven't done a video log in a little while with like the holidays and everything just got crazy at the end of the year. We do plan on resuming our weekly video logs or maybe like a bigger monthly video log that has a whole bunch of different segments in it, which is the idea that we wanted to switch over to. It's just I'm excited to get back to them, but life has to normalize a little bit.
Yeah.
We got a £5 donation from Pedro Lax. Thank you.
Thank you.
It says, will the Analog Pocket make it easier to stream portable content? Perhaps 8-bit Sonic titles, as terrible as they are. I'm sure they will. It will, but the dock that has HDMI out will not be available on day one, as far as I know.
Yeah. So eventually it should, but
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I think the pre-orders will probably, if they stay with their normal release, which has usually been like March, well, yeah, like March or so, right? Is that the Super NT and the Mega SG come out in March, or is it early April?
They were both in the spring regardless, I'm pretty sure.
It'll be interesting though. I will be curious when they open the pre-orders for it.
I actually didn't realize the pre-orders weren't already open.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, I mean, I don't know how far off it is.
Yeah, I assumed it would be like April or something.
I feel like they got to ship the DAC first though.
I guess.
And they did have a tweet a while back saying that the cartridge adapters were coming.
Yeah.
Soon as well.
I mean, I have been hoping for the cartridge adapters to materialize before the Pocket because I kind of want that assurance that the cartridge adapters are coming for the Pocket as well, you know? I mean, if they haven't delivered that on the...
Well, I mean, they tweeted pictures of it.
Right.
They were coming.
But I want it. I want now. Yeah. I want to play Game Gear games. I've got 11 Game Gear games and no Game Gear system. Well, I've got a broken Game Gear system. But... I want a way to play them cartridges.
It was February 7th, and the Mega SG was March 25th. Oh, we got a $4.99 donation from Jason Davis. Oh. Thank you. It says, any news on the Capcom Home Arcade releasing in the U.S.? I wasn't aware that it was not available at all in the U.S., but I guess that makes sense. I mean, I haven't heard anything about it. That's very surprising. I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't even tried it. I mean, I would love to.
I mean, we would love to to test one out for the Final Fight episode that we were planning to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
But it makes me wonder if they're like planning any changes or anything and updates before they release it in the US.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we were hoping that maybe we could just, if nothing else, get some footage of it from John, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, I showed it a little bit in the Neo Geo. I still got to update that one too. Oh, Exadrillo 99 has the Hyperdub Mega SG. That's probably my favorite design from Analog. I wish you could buy the M30 controller separately. I want to.
What design is this? Hyper Dub?
Yeah, you remember how the Super NT had the ghostly version?
Yeah.
It was like a white one. This is like, you know, it's a different. It's like the same idea.
Huh. No, I didn't know they had done that with the Mega SG. What's the color?
It's like black and gold.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it was going to be This Is Cool.
Well, it is kind of see-through, actually. It's like a smoke.
But I like all the other colors on the This Is Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I really want. I regret not getting one of the white ones. I wish that they would have other colors of it. Drumata was asking, what do you think of the upside down sections now that you've dug into this a little bit? It seems weird, but I don't know if I hate it. What they say.
They are not as disorienting as you might expect. I don't know. I'm having no problems with them, honestly. I mean, I'm sure that they're a little less natural than the other segments, but no, they don't. I think it's certainly. I mean, it's certainly one of the game's main hooks, anyway. So I think it's kind of cool.
Gerald Tan says, I regret not getting an NT Mini.
I mean, I feel like with like the Mister getting really good, like the regret doesn't have to be that strong, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, it's using the cartridges.
Yeah. Although,
but, from what I understand, it sells for like $1,000 on eBay.
Yeah, I know, it's insane. But like in terms of like using FPGA for NES and Famicom, I mean the AVS is great, and you know I like to hope that they're eventually going to make a NES style, you know, or really I should say like a Super NT style NES, you know, where it's got like the interpolation and everything.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure that there will be a replacement at some point. Won't be surprised if we eventually get cartridge connectors for the Mister. I mean, with the way things are going, I could see that happening.
I would love that.
But didn't Smoke Monster kind of talked about this, tweeted about this the other day, about how the cartridge adapter, like doing cartridges, like just might be too much for what like the idea is. I think that's what he was saying. It's like it would be too expensive for what.
I mean, I feel like people would buy them. I mean, maybe they could be like. Yeah. I mean, if they could be like print on demand, you know, Osh Park PCBs or whatever, you know, and then you know, someone maybe makes some cartridge, you know, 3D print cartridge shells. I mean, I think that would be fine.
Yeah. Mr. Walrus FPGA in the chat is saying there are not enough pins on the Mister to allow for carts.
Yeah, I was kind of guessing that there would probably be some sort of access bottleneck. You know, it maybe like a bus speed thing, if not, you know, just pure pins. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely the advantage of having that like purpose-built machine like Analog has. You know, you can have the controllers working exactly the same and everything.
Right. Yeah, maybe someone could get the Retrode working with it. That'd be interesting.
That'd be crazy. But even then, it would probably be like a temporary dump, like Retron 5 style. Or
right.
You know.
Yeah. We had a $10 donation from Joshua Helmicke. Thanks. He says, I recently noticed that Sakura Wars had finally been fan translated into English. Any thoughts on the experience with those games at all? There are 4 of them out for both Dreamcast and Saturn. I did see that released, and I do want to try it. I'm just waiting for... I did download it, but I want to get a version that's like Phoebe compatible. I guess I could burn it and then put it on my Phoebe. But it's
that game. I get it confused because that's not the same series as what was the last Working Designs game?
Oh, you're not Magic Knight Ray Earth.
No, not for Saturn. I mean the last one. What series was that part of?
Summon Knight.
The PS2 game.
Oh, Growlancer.
Growlancer, yeah, I get those games and Sakura Tyson confused.
Oh no, I mean,
aren't they like they're both like tactics games though, right?
Yeah, but Sakura Wars has a lot of dating sim elements, I guess, to it.
I just get them mixed up in my head.
I have the one that came out for PS2. Actually, there's like one that came out for PS2. It's like it has 2 discs with it, and it's one has like the English dub and the other one has a Japanese dub. Yeah, I want to say it's like called like So Long My Love or something like that. I mean, like I don't even have to go in the other room. I can just go over and grab it now if I wanted to. Just walk right over there. So we had a £2 donation from Pedro Lax. Thank you. He says, thoughts on an 8-bit DOE SMS pad with pause, of course.
I don't think it would be possible because I mean, if you could wire
like,
up pause through the controller itself, like
yeah,
there would already be controllers that could do that.
Yeah, it needs to have an internal mod to be able to do that.
Yeah, you know, I honestly like I've got my Master System hooked up in my new room, but like aside from just like if I need to specifically capture footage from a real Master System, like I have a hard time seeing myself playing for real on the real Master System. Like the Mega SG with the M30 like is like that's definitely how I'm planning to play Master System for the most part.
Well, I can appreciate that.
This is a pretty tough boss.
Oh, Bob Cornhole says the SMS pause mod interferes with the paddle games.
Oh.
A lot of people said it. Why don't you show those like wasn't that the paddle, but like the ball, the rolling ball first party controller in the first party controllers episode? It's like, well, I didn't have it, but I looked it up, but I thought, well, it's like $30. I don't know if that's really worth it.
Yeah. Sometimes people will expect us to show just like everything that exists, but it's like, you know, we don't literally have everything.
Yeah.
some things cost money, you know. We can't always, you know, it just doesn't always make sense to buy certain things.
Well, especially like the sports controller for the Master System. It's like, well, that's okay. I mean, I don't feel like it was worth it.
I think that's fair.
Well, thanks. Savvy is Joshua Arts. Says good day, Triforce, and good day, Coury. Happy
Good day.
2020, fellas. Good day.
Whoa, that's a different attack.
Controllers like a Power A first party.
Whew. Oh no! I thought I.
Is this the last boss?
No, I don't think so. But I think we both died. Oh, we both died.
But his death animation took longer. I would not consider something like Power A to be first party.
No, because we looked at Power A controllers in the third party controllers episode. So officially licensed does not count for, you know, those our purposes there.
Page Relax saying, petition to move all MLiG streams to the Wu-Tang controller. Can you imagine? It's like, oh, you got to use the Wu-Tang controller for every game.
That sounds like a Ben Brody question.
Yeah. $1,000 a week, but you have to play every game with the Wu-Tang controller. I'm like majorly bearded this week. I've made a decision to not cut my hair, shave my face until after the move is completely done. I mean, the move is done. We finished the move yesterday, but now we're in the point where we're painting rooms and doing all this stuff to make it more marketable to sell.
Oh, you're painting your old house.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
and you're doing it yourself.
Well, it came with all the original paint was in the basement, so we're able to, you know, spackle the holes that needed to be spackled, and then we can paint those, and it just matches.
So you're not like painting new colors.
No, I get to go over there. No, I mean, I'm just touching up everything, and I really did, like, the walls in the attic, man, I really did a number on those things. It was crazy. Like, more so than any other room in the house.
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
but I mean, there's like so many things that when I was mounting stuff and just a lot of times in that house,
I was doing so good.
I rushed into things.
Like, you were just like, oh, I want to do this. You didn't think it through.
Yeah, and I mean, I made some holes and like didn't even think it through, and I ended up having to do more than one at a time. So I'm making a conscious effort in this house to really think things through and do them correctly the first time, instead of rushing into it. We got a $2 donation for love of the game.
Oh.
Saying 700K, but you can no longer read super chats aloud. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like it doesn't seem like it'd be fair, but at the same time, it's like, all right, well, you only get 700K like at one time. It depends. I guess I don't know. Like I don't think I would do it.
Sounds rude.
Yeah. I'd rather read the super chats aloud. But what if we don't read the super chats? We just respond to them.
Yeah, there you go.
I was supposed to ignore that one, I guess. That's what it really meant.
Oh.
Yeah. We got 2 donations from JJJ John. One of them is a burger emoji, and the other one looks like a cherry pie emoji.
Whoa. Both sound pretty high quality to me.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. This. Did he kill me again? I think he killed me again. Oh man, that final attack, those final attacks he does, like when he's almost dead, are really big.
Bob Cornell says that the pause mod uses impossible D-pad presses, L and R, left and right, or L and R to trigger the pause. The second pedal uses those bits too, so you could pause the game accidentally while dialing the paddle. Yep, for love of the game, I blew it.
Oh, come on. I should not be having this much trouble with this boss. It just has a really long health bar.
Scott Snyder, this is the PS4 version. Where did you order the Switch version from? I know. Was it somebody else? Was it like that first? There's so many limited print games companies these days.
Someone else did the Switch version?
Yeah. General Osimo, you guys streamed on January 3rd, right? Yeah. Yeah. There's someone answered an important question for me in the chat and the stream. However, that archive isn't uploaded. It should be. It should be on the stream page. I can check. I'm pretty sure that's in the playlist. I mean, let me double check on it. It looks like we didn't stream on the 3rd, we streamed on the 5th. Yeah, it's in the archive playlist.
Oh, come on.
Oh, we got a $2 donation from Vestigial Voice. Thank you. It says, Coury, where did you get that blue Sega shirt? I assume we're talking about the year-end video, the games we played in 2019 video. That was John Linneman got me that at E3 this year when I think he went to play the Genesis Mini in a meeting, and he got a shirt from them. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, can you like go and ask to see if you can get another one? And he was able to get another one, and he's held on to it for the last 7 months. And he brought it to me when he was in town for the holidays.
He's already back, huh?
Oh, Pedro Lax is saying, Coury shirt chat. What's your favorite Jimmy Eat World track? Well, Futures is definitely my favorite album. That album came out at a time when I first moved to New York City, and I listened to it so much. It was kind of like my soundtrack for my first year there. I like the title track a lot. Probably like my favorite song on the album, though. My favorite Jimmy World song is probably the song Polaris on that album. Hopefully that is a satisfying answer. I know I was very excited to get that shirt.
Come on, die! Dang it! Oh,
Same thing happened again, huh?
It keeps happening.
He feels like a last boss, kind of.
I don't think he is, or she.
For Love of the Game is saying just get hit less.
That time, like, I was doing really good. I barely got hit until those final attacks, and I flubbed it dodging them.
John went back to Germany on Friday, I think. We did a little game, like a little game shopping one day. And he got some good stuff, but I surprisingly ended up with Ace Combat 3 and 6 and the spin-off, the something Horizon. Forgot what it's called. So I guess I'm like all in on the Ace Combat. So now I just need Ace Combat 0 and 1 and 2.
I did it. I did it. Sam.
Oh.
I did it, Sandy. Well, that looked like it could have been the last. Ooh, I can do it.
You got the. Finally, you got the.
Looked like that could be the last weapon.
I don't know if there's gonna be a Sega Pico episode anytime soon.
Oh, look, the next level after 5 is clearly the last.
The last, but what if it goes in and it's like a whole castle? Like, what if it's a Castlevania situation? Where there's like several levels inside of it, or a not Castlevania, but like a Mega Man situation.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, Castlevania 4 did that, right? Where you're outside, and then, or 3 and 4 did that.
Yeah.
We got a $5 donation from Eric Fleener. Thank you. He says, I am uncertain what direction to go in to get an NES in my setup. High def NES or NES RGB mod to OSSC. Thoughts?
I mean, if you've already got an OSSC, I would encourage the RGB mod, just because then you've got that flexibility to use it on a CRT, you know, in the future if you wanted. I mean, I like the high def NES a lot as well, but I do feel that if you're already using an OSSC, I do think NES RGB is more flexible. Oh no, what is that thing doing to me?
I got a $5 donation from Kodo-kun. Thank you. It says, you guys try the SN30 Pro Plus yet? What are your thoughts? I have a Pro Plus, and I like it a lot.
Is that the one with the handles?
Yes.
See, that doesn't do much for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can. The big thing for me is that it can. It seems as though they have improved the internals.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like the SN30 Pro. If I see that they change the internals of those, then I will probably get another one. So the thing is a lot of people talk about the increased sensitivity of the SN30 and the SN30 Pro. Like sometimes if you hit left or right, you'll sometimes get like a diagonal. And I think it comes down to the fact that it's the contact points on the PCB has 3 different activation points, or 3 different like segments on it. And if you look at an original Super NES controller, it only has 2, like a top and a bottom. And the other one has like a top, bottom, and middle. And it seems as though before I bought a Pro Plus, I watched a teardown of it, and it seems is that they changed that, so it just has a top and bottom pad, or like whatever it is, like on the PCB. So it's closer to an original Super NES controller. The thing that made me think that they were doing that, like that might be a possibility, is because the mod kits that came out also have just a top and bottom. And I ordered a mod kit for the Super NES a long time ago, and it's amazing. And once I saw that they did it with the Pro Plus, I thought it was worth getting then as well. If that even makes any sense. I meant to like show it in a video at some point. But the Pro Plus is good. I played through River City Girls with that controller. You know what's interesting though? When I recorded the footage for you for the year-end video of River City Girls, I co-opted with John, and John immediately is like, "What the heck is going on? Like, why is this game not a locked 60 frames per second?" And I was like, I didn't even notice it.
I didn't notice it either.
And he's like, I'm like, what? Really? He's like, yeah. I mean, this is like definitely in the 50s.
Really? I never noticed.
And then he's pointed out something else, that every once in a while it'll stutter for a split second.
See, I'd never noticed.
I didn't either, but I mean, he noticed it within like 5 minutes of playing the game. He's like, oh, this is definitely like running in like the mid 50s.
I mean, that sounds like a curse. I mean, the other versions might be a little.
That's what he said. He's like, this is part of my curse.
I mean, I wonder how the other versions run.
Now he's like, I want to see if the PS4 version has that issue.
Yeah, I wonder. Did you even know about the whole little ghost mechanic until you played it with him?
No, I didn't.
It's hilarious.
It's a really great idea, but it's
stressful.
Intense.
Yeah.
It's super stressful.
Oh gosh, the Abobo fight. I mean, you saw that there was some footage of it. Like that was so intense. But like we beat him on our first try, so it was so good.
Yeah, I mean it's a very cool revive mechanic.
Because I like stuff like how like in Mario, like the the modern Mario games where it's like you know, everyone's like in the, they come back in the bubble, and it's like it's very trivial, you know?
Yeah.
Like this though, like it gives you the ability to revive, but it's like it's challenging.
Yeah, because it gets really intense because you might only be able to hit a couple of times before you have to fight off some more enemies.
Right.
I was just thinking about Mario 3D World, and it's surprising that it does not have a Switch release yet, but I'm hoping it's going to get one, because that's one I will definitely rebuy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a game that I want to replay mostly because, like, you know, that was on Drum's Wii U.
Right.
Because
yeah, you did like the marathon.
The marathon. So like I don't have a beat game on my system.
But it's funny because we went to a friend's birthday party last week, and Arya was playing it on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had it set up on a TV and loved it.
Yeah.
We wanted to play it more. It's like, oh, I never really thought about it, but it's kind of a great game for kids, I think.
Oh, sure.
And she's been asking to play it all week, but it's like, oh, I don't want to like dig everything out and get it all set up. It's just there's just no opportunity to do it right now. I'm like, if there was on the Switch, I would definitely rebuy it, and she could have played that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like that parallax right there is pretty cool in the background.
Yeah. There's been several rooms like that.
Yeah, so what's the deal with Stadia? I haven't heard anything about it since like the day it came out.
Like everyone hated it.
Yeah, is that
Have you seen the commercial for it?
No, I haven't
it's
seen anything.
Super obnoxious.
What does it do? What's it like?
It's very obnoxious. I don't even know how to describe it. Like you just look it up on YouTube. Like I think there's like I've seen like short cuts of it for like TV or YouTube ads, but it's just obnoxious. My dad mentioned it the other day. I guess he's seeing a TV ad for it.
Saw a commercial for it?
Yeah. I think he understood that was not something that would interest me.
So Exadrillo 99 is saying that rumor is that the Switch is getting 2 new Wii U ports next year, or this year. I'm assuming now.
Well, we already know about or the Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Right. Best contenders are 3D World, the Zelda HD remakes, or Wonderful 101. Didn't they say that Wonderful 101 is like not happening? Like they tried to.
I didn't hear that.
I mean, I think it'd be awesome if it did happen. I mean, even if it's just for anything, it's like to maybe try to do some more like traditional controls in it. Like I don't know if it's even possible to play it without.
I got it earlier this year, but I haven't played it.
Oh, I didn't know you bought it.
I'm pretty sure I bought it when you were like, you should buy this, and I was like, okay, fine.
Oh, I thought you were like, I don't want to buy that.
My Nintendo games are upstairs now, so I can't check. But I'm pretty sure I bought it. Check my backlog rate. I'm pretty sure I bought it. Maybe I didn't buy it then, but I'm pretty sure I was back at that store like a couple of months later. I may have bought it then.
It's pretty good. I mean, I would like to see a version that has like more refined controls, though.
What? I mean, what's non-traditional about the controls?
Well, you go inside when you go inside of structures, and you have to switch to. You can only see it on the gamepad, and it's just like uses motion controls, and it was just difficult to do a lot. At least that's what I recall. I mean, I haven't played it in. What was it like when it came out?
You did a little review on it.
I think that was the first. That was like the first review on the channel.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Man, that Double Dragon 4 video like gets a surprising number of comments, and usually it's people being very angry that you.
Yeah, like, people are really angry that I was a little harsh on Return of Double Dragon 6 years ago.
Do you feel like you would be as hard on it now?
No, I mean I feel that I've come to. I usually respond to those comments saying, I feel that I appreciate the game more now. I still don't think the music was that great, except for like 1 or 2 levels had good music. Looking forward to Streets of Rage 4. Does it have a release date yet?
Not one that I noticed, but I don't know.
In motion, it looks surprisingly good.
Well, I wouldn't say surprisingly good. I mean, it's the people that did Dragon Shaft.
Yeah,
that game looked amazing in motion.
But it was still just like it was drawing over the frames of the original.
Not really. I mean, there was like what, 2 frames of animation in the original and a ton in the new one. It was not exactly the same at all. Like it was very reimagined, even though it was like the original bones of the game running underneath it.
Well, even still, I think that I said I didn't love the style for the game or for that series, and I still don't know if I prefer it that much. But I thought it looked, when I saw it in motion and like being played by people, I was like, oh, like it looks a lot better than screenshots would make me think that it does.
Well, see, I was on board right from the beginning.
Yeah, well,
just because I loved that Wonder Boy style so much.
I don't know. I like the style, but I don't know if I like it if it worked for Streets of Rage.
Well, it's what you're getting, so.
I know. That's why I was surprised. Like once I saw it in motion and seeing people playing, I was like, oh, I guess it doesn't look that bad.
Checkpoints are super spread out in this level. It's pretty difficult.
That's a donation here from Sam Bam. Let me see if I can refresh the Streamlabs and see if this is it. Sam Bam, did I miss your? It's not showing up on Streamlabs either. A $5 donation. Oh, sorry. I was pledged $5. That's it. Change their Patreon pledge. I see.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm not sure if you're even in the chat.
I don't understand these bats that fly around.
Yeah, Good Vibe Collecting says, I was hoping for a Streets of Rage Mania type game.
I mean, that would be amazing as well, of course. But like I say, this is what you're getting, so you may as well be happy with it.
Yeah, well, I'll reserve judgment until I play it. But it looks better in motion than I was expecting.
How am I supposed to do this?
Baggishman is saying, okay, guys, Streets of Rage or Final Fight? I think that Streets of Rage, I would say,
Yeah,
all the way.
I mean,
I love the first Final Fight.
last year was a big Final Fight year for me. You know, finally being Final Fight CD. I mean, it took a lot of work, but I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. Like, just like looking at Final Fight in motion, it doesn't look anywhere near as good as Streets of Rage, but it's very good. But yeah, I mean, I like both quite a lot, but yeah, I'd probably give the edge to Streets of Rage in general. I mean, I think Streets of Rage 3, or rather Bare Knuckle 3, is an amazing game. Little easy, maybe.
Did you have much of an opinion on the music? Because the music is usually the part that is most divisive, I guess.
In 3?
Yeah.
I can't
It's
say.
just like it's kind of weird and experimental, I guess. It doesn't have any of the.
I don't know. I feel like the Streets of Rage music is experimental in its own way.
Well, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's as much of a rhythm to it.
I mean, I can't
more
say
like,
it.
more noisy. It's just like more like effects without much else. But I mean,
I can't say it made much of an impression on me, but like the thing that I really love about that game is the cooldown on the special attack.
mm-hmm.
Just because like that's something that I have always kind of despised, is having a move that hurts you in a fighting game, because I feel like I've just got one less move. You took it away from me. Well, I'm not going to use it now.
Well,
unless you're going, unless I'm in a situation where I'm just going to take damage anyway. I basically have lost a move. And like when I first played Turtles 3 on the NES, like that was the first time I had run across that sort of mechanic, and I was just like, no. Like I like Turtles 3, but like I'm always gonna have a grudge against it just because of like my first reaction to it was just like they took my move away. But yeah, the cooldown on that like makes all the difference in the world. I would love it if Streets of Rage 4 does the same mechanic, because it was very smart, and I'm surprised that I haven't seen more brawlers do that.
mm-hmm.
I mean, you can still do it anytime, and you'll take damage.
But it makes it so that
it's usable like every like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's less than 10 seconds. It's pretty fast, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with Good Vibe Collecting. Says I really like the music on Streets of Rage 1. It really sets the mood for the game. I like the Streets of Rage 1 soundtrack more than I like the soundtrack in 2.
Oh, this looks like that actually might have led to the castle.
Yeah, some like you got a trophy that said
that might, because there was a long transition, so that might have just been like a level with no boss.
Yeah.
Because this is like right where I fought that guy.
So some people are saying that the US version of Streets of Rage 3 is a bit harder.
Oh yeah, that's why people don't like it. It's a lot harder. That's why people don't like it. Well, I mean, it's one of the reasons.
Well, they removed like a lot of the story stuff too, right?
Maybe. I mean, there's some censoring going on too, but I mean, there's several reasons. But
they also made the colors all stupid.
Yeah.
Like they give like Axel that stupid bright yellow shirt.
But
we got a $5 donation from JM Boyd 78 saying, "Love the videos. You'll help me get much better quality out of all of my old systems. Thanks." Well, thank you. Hopefully, you have some time to play them too. That seems to be like my main, like the most challenging thing for me. Like I spend so much time screwing around with everything that I don't play enough. Man, this is the last boss.
He looks a little small.
That's true. It's just the first form. Bagger Schmidt is asking, are the Battletoads and Double Dragon games any good? Did you ever end up beating Battletoads Double Dragon?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, there's only
the
one
Genesis version, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's only one game. I mean, there's a few different versions of it, but there's NES, Super Nintendo, and Genesis, which is what I have. I've got the Genesis version.
It's kind of nice you get to start right at the boss.
Yeah, but you can't, like, if you've got extra lives, the fairy can revive you, but she can't revive you at a boss. So you only have 5 hits, and that's it. And it seems difficult to avoid his attacks.
Gangway Gamer is asking if you've finished the Impossible Layer yet.
I have not. I still haven't. Aside from recording some extra footage, you know, while I was working on that episode, I've not made an effort yet. I want to.
Tommy Platt is saying, just popping in for a second. I'm going to go to bed in a minute. Also, didn't know if you guys could eventually do a live stream of Final Fantasy 12 for the PS2. RPGs are difficult to do live streams on, especially since we end up talking over everything anyways most of the time.
But hey, I mean, I know my way around Final Fantasy 12. I mean, you know, I always had a joke with one of my friends that, you know, oh, let's just play a quick round of Final Fantasy 6, and that turned into, you know, the first extra live stream that we did on the Backloggery. You know, I did a 24-hour run of Final Fantasy 6, you know, cold. You know, I hadn't played the game in several years. You know, in the age of speed running, I'm sure that does not sound impressive, but you know, I didn't know anyone else who had done that, you know, so I could see it being fun to do Final Fantasy 12 in like a marathon stream setting.
Savvy as Joshua Arts is saying, sometime this year I'm going to be looking to modding another 3 Atari 2600 consoles to RGB and component. If I do get around to doing this, would you like me to send you one down to use for a future video of how to get the best play out of the Atari 2600?
I can't promise how soon it would be, but that's definitely something I have wanted to get sometime for sure. Is an Atari RGB Atari 2600. Like it's not something that I think I really have the space to integrate into my main setup, but it's something I'm interested in 100% for sure. Like I want to do like an RGB Atari video sometime for sure. I just don't really know when that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to do that.
You know, we got a bit of criticism for
the first party controllers.
For the first party controllers, like at no point did we act like Nintendo was the first.
Yeah,
it's just that like that's just what we were looking at. We were starting with the Famicom, you know. We were starting with that generation. Like I've actually got quite a few Atari and ColecoVision. Like I've got some weird ColecoVision controllers. Got like a driving controller. I've got a controller with like it's like a controller that's got like a grip and it's got like a ball stick joystick on the top. It's weird looking. I've got a number of weird ColecoVision controllers, but the fact of the matter is, like, is not a system that I play hardly at all, and it would have just required some, you know, time and research that we couldn't afford, you know?
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
I would just have to have tested all of these controllers and stuff, and you know, my ColecoVision is not really in a recordable state right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't feasible, but like I get it. I wouldn't mind. I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, Atari and stuff like that, those are systems I have like respect for, but like, I don't love them. You know?
Yeah. Raxel was saying that I look tired, and yes, I am very tired. It's been a pretty crazy couple of weeks full of moving to a new house, a little sleep, and I've been like kind of sick the entire time.
Oh, fun. Oh, geez. Don't do new moves on me here. I'm not.
I definitely well, that's kind of.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Jumping. Oh, this is like
I didn't realize how close I was to beating him. Actually, I guess this is like his final rush, kind of like that other boss. I feel like this Fire and Ice is the best ability for him, just because it kind of goes all over the place. Those sparkles after, like, I'm not sure how to tell. You? Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure how to tell where they appear.
I thought they just appear where the trail is.
Oh, I see the sparkles. They're like small right now.
Right.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the small ones like that were like there in the scene.
Raxel is saying, do you want to play Super Mario 3 next week?
Wow.
Well,
I'm
maybe
sure I've streamed Mario 3 before.
Yeah, maybe I could play the All-Stars version of Mario 3. I don't think I've ever finished that version.
Really?
I mean, it's been just in general, like, beating Mario 3. I bet you I couldn't beat it in a stream.
You don't think so? See, your whole thing about, like, man, Mario 3 is a long game without saves. Good things there's this save hack. And I'm like, Mario 3, long. Come on.
No, I mean, I've not finished it in Gosh, it was like I probably haven't finished this since like junior high.
That's crazy to me. That's so crazy to me.
I got a $5 donation from JJJ John with no comment. Thank you. Let's see some more GBA streams. Well, maybe I could play something GBA next week. I don't know.
I've kind of wanted to do a GBA stream lately. I just haven't been sure what to stream.
Do the GBA port on the consolizer for Super Mario 3. We'll see. I mean, I don't think I could beat it next week, but I mean, I could always take on the All-Stars version. That could be fun.
It would be painful, but also fun to watch you play Mario 3.
I mean, seriously, I have not finished it since like the very, very early 90s.
That's so crazy to me.
But maybe maybe I could play it in a few times this week and just kind of see
it's
how
not.
I do.
I think you would be like shocked that it's like not that hard. You know, it's like it's.
Maybe I don't even remember how much I remember about it.
It's not that hard. Like I mean, it's not that hard. Like you don't like if you think you need to go into Mario 3 with practice, like it's not a hard game. It was the first Mario game I beat. It was probably the second video game I ever beat.
Okay, I understand, but
it's not that hard.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe that might be a fun one to do. It'd probably be really tough because people would be really angry.
Well, you know, I have thought lately, like, you know, I'm always like looking for games that I need to knock off my backlog for stream nights, but at the same time, like, it could be. We should just more often just like play some old favorite that we just like want to play again, or some game that's just like, you know, I haven't played this in a really long time and I should.
Yeah, I mean, there's one time I played Ghouls and Ghosts, and you know that's an old favorite.
Oh man, I got a really good pattern on him, but it kind of fell apart at the end. He was just like doing that fire circle thing, which is pretty easy to avoid for the most part.
But I guess it could be good to have a save file in All-Stars.
Of course, you can choose your world.
Oh, really?
Like after your file is cleared, like I forget what button you press, but you push a button when you're like choosing your game. You press one of the buttons to toggle the world. So you could start the beginning of that world, basically.
That could be useful.
Yes.
What is the one game you guys think you're best at and better than most other folks?
I don't know. Ninja Gaiden 3. Definitely better than most folks for sure, but I wouldn't say I'm the best at it.
I don't know. I think I'm good at Ghouls and Ghosts. I mean, that's definitely one that I will play fairly often.
Oh, I didn't even realize he was vulnerable when he was in that red thing. That can't be the last form, though. There was a gate closing on the other side. If that wasn't it, please let there be a checkpoint. Okay, there's a checkpoint.
Sure feels good.
I mean, you know, I have heard a lot of people say Mario 3 is hard, and I don't see it, so maybe I am just good at Mario 3. I don't know.
What is that those ice spikes that come up behind you?
There's certain tiles, I don't think they're ice spikes necessarily, but like you see how like where I'm standing, there's like just a smattering of dots over those tiles in the middle.
Yes.
Like
I see.
It's just a trap. It's just they're kind of hard to see.
What is the one game you absolutely suck at? Worse than most? Probably Mario 3.
Well, you know, I just beat Revenge of Shinobi a few weeks ago. I wanted to give it a mention in our year-end video, but I didn't have time. But I was really bad at that until I figured out how to beat it. Huh?
You ended up liking it a lot, right?
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, I already liked it. I was just bad at it.
Mm-hmm. But you feel like you're pretty good at it now?
Well, I mean, it'd probably take a few hours and a couple of attempts, but I'm sure I could get to the end again if I wanted. Okay, this is the last guy. He's actually got a full life bar.
I mean, I don't know, I feel like I'm pretty good at Revenge of Shinobi. I can get through it pretty quick until you hit the bay, because you gotta make some like pixel perfect jumps. There's a I don't know. $2, we have to say it like Mario Jumpman Mario. I don't know if that's. Does that count?
Or the Donkey Kong. I have no idea how to get through this guy's shield. Like, does it just go down eventually, or do I just like hit him until it breaks?
Probably.
I don't know. I'm not seeing any trick to this.
Well, we got all night.
I guess so.
It's 11:09. I'm sure someone in the chat can enlighten you.
Charge shot doesn't do it. None of the regular weapons seem to do it. My kick doesn't do it.
Is there a Neo Geo AES masterclass coming up? At some point in the future, yes.
I mean, it wouldn't really just be about AES. It would be about Neo Geo in general.
Yeah.
I'm going to have an MVS set up relatively soon.
Do you have Shock Troopers yet?
I don't. I want it. It's like definitely my number one most wanted game. I've just got Metal Slug 2, 3, and X.
For the level of the game, saying it was weirdly hot over there. Was it weirdly hot over there today? It was 75 in New York. Yes, I mean it was.
No, it was pretty warm. I mean, there have been some days in the low 70s and high 60s. Today was another one of them. It was more of a humid warm though. Big sort of like a summer type storm. You have to drop the potion things that make a vertical blue beam when they hit the ground. I tried that. It didn't seem to hit him. That is the color of his shield, though.
It was like 60 these last couple of days, but rainy. Yesterday was really windy.
Oh, I guess it did hit him. He probably changes his shield color at some point. I thought I had tried this, but I guess I just didn't realize it was working, or it didn't connect.
$2, but you gotta do the truffle shuffle. I'm not gonna overdo it. All right. We got a $5 donation from Ben Brody. It says 25 million. If you get passed by a minivan while driving, you have to pull over for 15 minutes and blast the Genesis Marble Madness soundtrack.
If you get passed by a minivan.
Yeah.
I mean,
I take that.
That sounds like a deserved punishment, really, if you get passed by a minivan. I mean, but like, it is really like insult to injury to like have to stop there and listen to the Genesis Marble Madness soundtrack. Like, you can't just like listen to it while driving, you know?
Yeah.
So you just can't get passed by a minivan. Like, I think I could handle that. It doesn't sound like, you know, a totally life-altering punishment, you know? Wow, he grabbed me. I don't think that's happened before.
For Lovely Games, it says $500, but you have to play Midnight Resistance on the Mega SD. I do that for nothing. I like that version. The music's way better than the arcade version. That's for sure.
The controls are weird, but I feel it's something I could get used to.
Yeah.
I would definitely buy it, but it's a little bit expensive these days, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's because of the music. That's the reason.
It's because of you hyping up the music.
Red Wolfie says a young girl saw my Power Glove shirt today and asked if it was the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, Stage 2 Marble Madness, just in general, like the music in general on that level is good.
Including on the Genesis.
Yeah, well, I mean, the composition of the music is very good. Simpsons Arcade or X-Men Arcade, which is better? I'd probably say that X-Men is better, but I think I like Simpsons better. I like Simpsons more.
I played the PS3 version of the Simpsons Arcade. I don't think I've really played much of the X-Men Arcade, but I'm definitely familiar with it. Remember the whole, like, the MagFest yell.
Oh yeah, I wonder if it's still a thing. The Colossus yell.
Yeah. Like, at some point they said they like banned it because like guests in the hotel were complaining.
Yeah. The Japanese Genesis Marble Madness soundtrack is near arcade perfect. Interesting.
Which one?
The Genesis Japanese version.
Really?
Who was that one made by?
What I mean, what is it? The same port? I wonder. Just
No,
with
it's
better
it's
music.
a different game. It's a
Really?
different game. Or a different port, yeah. Talking about Golden Axe Revenge of Death Rider, I feel like the One Up Arcade is stealing its thunder. It was stealing what's thunder? Did they announce it? Is it coming something else?
That would be great.
Ben Brody says, "What is your favorite home console version of Space Harrier, and why is the Sega Ages Sega Saturn version?" Because you can use the mission stick with it. That's why it's my favorite version. That's why Afterburner. That's my favorite version of Afterburner also.
Yeah, this is a tough boss.
I like Space Harrier because it's the first game that made me fall in love with games, and I just have a soft spot for it. I mean, it's a great game, fun to play. It's a very pure arcade experience, and it has one of the best soundtracks of all time, even though it's really only a handful of songs, but the main theme is extremely, like, it's really long, and it's got Bins Beans in it.
It does.
It's all about the Bins Beans.
Man, if he grabs you, and I just don't know what even causes that, really. He grabs you, you're gone.
Yep, Rexel is the same way. I mean, I got a Master System instead of a NES because Space Harrier.
Man,
What's your favorite racing game for any Sega platform and why? I would say probably my favorite Sega racing game is probably Outrun 2. I love the first one a lot, but Outrun 2 is so much fun to play because you can see it, because the drifting is so over the top, I guess. Any tips on where to find a PVM? Definitely check PB stations, see what they're getting rid of, but I mean, these days I don't even know.
I mean, what I always recommend is medical warehouses, like equipment reseller warehouses. I mean, that's where I found them in my area. I mean, it's been what, maybe 2 years since I I did any looking, but you know, I mean, I had pretty good luck then. So I mean, just see if you got anything like that. You can probably just like, they'll probably let you just look around, and decent chance you'll find something. And you know, I mean, don't be afraid to, like, you know, drive maybe 3 hours, you know, if you had to, you know. I mean, it's worth it, right? Like you might think like, oh, there's not one in my town, like I'm never gonna get one. Well, go a little farther, you know. Don't be afraid. You know, something like that could be worth it. It's going to change your gaming life. You won't spend a couple more hours on the road. It's worth it. Broaden your search.
Ben Brody, are you local? I mean, I don't know if we ever really talked about this. Saying to the baker's table. You know, the old house was like right around the corner from baker's table. Now that they're serving dinner. I haven't been for their dinner yet. But I was like 2 blocks. Used to live 2 blocks away from it. The old house was 2 blocks away from it. And before it was baker's table. Well, it was a sandwich place. Before that, it was a pack house, which had the meatballs, which is now a food truck. But you've been to pack house. You went to pack house when you were here.
It was good. Oh man, this is tough. I feel like I'm not making like meaningful improvements.
You're not making a lot of progress on it.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to baker's table for dinner. I mean, I guess I only really went for lunch like a year ago. I've not been. Hey, thanks, Savvy as Joshua Arts. Thanks for tuning in for so long. Will Mitchell, we both have Mr. Setups.
I've not had as much of a chance to use mine yet, but that's hopefully going to change pretty soon. Now that I've got it pretty well integrated into my new retro room.
Sane Rob, that's a good combination. I never even thought about that, listening to Depeche Mode while playing Death Stranding. There's a lot of places I have not been in the area. It's just, I guess it was the timing of like in the age of my kids. It's like made it so I haven't gotten to go out to a lot of places. Yeah, I got $1.99 from our old friend Scott Davis saying, "Hey dudes, any reactions to any CES stuff? Cheers."
I can't remember if I remember like seeing something, but
the side of that Hyperkin Game Boy player looks like it's like a hand sticking up its middle finger.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
But that's about it. I mean, that's the only was moving all week, so I barely got a chance to look at a lot of this stuff. Oh, we got a $2 donation from Josh Fry. says PVM and RGB versus FPGA and large HD TV.
I mean, that's something that no one can answer for you. You know,
Yeah.
that's as total matter of personal preference. You know, in my old setup, I tended to go for like OSSC on the big TV. Just it was a little more convenient, a little more comfortable. But my new setup is all going to be about playing on PVMs. So, you know, it's hard to say whether I'm going to like actively prefer it necessarily. But you know, it made sense to me to separate the analog and HDMI consoles because there was no longer room for them really in one space. So I decided to move them to another room, and you know, just the nature of how you hook them up is different anyway. So
right. I think I talked to you a little bit about it. I was talking to John about it, about how it's just interesting that like your setup is kind of expanding and mine is like becoming more condensed and centralized.
I mean, mine's not really expanding. It's just splitting into two.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in terms of like, okay, so the games are in one room, the systems are in another room, essentially.
But you've still got more room to work with than you had before.
Right, but I mean, I had like just having the games right next to like the table that I can shoot stuff at. Like, makes such a huge difference.
Well, same with me. Like, you know, my library of games has been, you know, downstairs all this time, and every time I had to shoot B-roll of like actual games, like I had to drag them upstairs. Like it was a big pain, and so that's why I'm definitely excited about, you know, how I'm moving them downstairs.
Right.
Man, I'm just not improving on this guy. Like, I feel like his attacks are just not easy to dodge for some reason.
Ben Brody, I have not seen that. Policewoman of Cincinnati, I have not. I'm not sure if I told you this, but I've only lived here like 6 years. So I mean, like before I lived here, my only experience was like from like WKRP in Cincinnati, the show. I can't even tell you anything about it. That was on when I was so young. Never really thought I'd ever live here. The cool thing is, though, I mean, the fact that I can play on a PDM, but I can also just like turn like this and we'll be able to play on my main TV. It's just by turning a little bit to the left.
Mm-hmm.
And just not having a couch. I like the idea of, I mean, eventually if you can, I mean, you can kind of see the ottoman there. I was thinking about getting like a more typical computer desk and moving this recliner over there. Or maybe just getting another recliner that I could sit over there. I was thinking about like getting like, also another option would be is like getting like the only way I can really describe them is like a Maxell seat.
Oh.
That might be kind of cool. What is funny though is the table that I shoot a lot of stuff at, since you know we always shoot stuff with the wood paneling behind it, and I'm gonna take a different approach to that. I mean, it's not gonna change how it looks, but before, like, I mean, you've seen the original setup video where Dry has it like against the wall, like it's just like a panel of it against the wall. And I did that in the old house, but what I think I'm gonna do here is instead of setting that up, so it's just like this panel on the wall, as I'm going to try to build a panel that is on like wheels that I can like wheel behind the desk and if I need to.
Oh, he changed to red. I actually saw something different.
So I think, I mean, I just want to do that because it just, I don't know, putting it like on like a chunk of that on the wall, it's like I feel like it's just for here, like it's just I just don't want to do that much. I'd rather have it on wheels where I could swap it out if I needed to.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, never mind. I just decorated a whole room with that.
Right, but I mean, you could. I mean, you could shoot stuff in there if you wanted to. Now to get that effect. I mean, even if I wanted to, I would never be able to get that effect.
Yeah.
Because unless
you take that golf room and, you know.
But that's not happening. Like, I mean, I do have to make use of that wall at some point, though.
Yes.
But I mean, it looks big, and I guess it just goes back pretty far. It has a nice depth of field. But it's L-shaped, so around that corner there's a whole other area, but that's going to be more of a space for my wife does like it has a printing press thing that she does, like a manual printing press. She like makes cards and stuff, and she's going to set up all her stuff over there and have room for the kids to play down here as well. But I think just having a sizable thing on wheels that I can just wheel behind the desk for that style of shot is going to be. Yeah. I mean, and there's like the storage area, like where I'm like the heater, the water heater, and all that other stuff. I can just wheel it in there if I wanted to.
Oh wait, that's not the right color, or is it? I don't know.
It might almost be cool over time, like. If it works, then like, who's saying I can't just make a bunch of different ones?
Yeah.
They're like different styles.
Yeah, why not?
Attack of the Pixels, I know it's like the stream size has grown exponentially these last few months. It's been really crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, last week we had like over 900 people. 900.
I don't understand it.
People watching last week.
I forgot it was that big.
I know, it's surreal. I could put a whole CRT on a desk with the wheels. I mean, it's true. What I eventually going to do is I have that big desk that I shoot everything on. I'm eventually going to try to get a like a standing desk that can go higher and lower. That is like the same color, the same wood pattern, and I'm gonna get rid of that.
My concern with that is it's going to be wobbly. And you're going to get all kinds of wobbling when you're like, you know, plugging stuff in and stuff.
I don't.
It's going to wobble more than you think. I think so. I think so, because I mean, even on desks that I thought were like pretty solid, like you can still get some wobble. Like it on camera, it's more apparent than you think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like if something like that wobbled, I think you get a lot more people complaining about stuff like that.
Yeah, but they're also not shooting B-roll of.
But they're writing stuff on them and.
Yeah, but writing isn't the same kind of motion
like
that we do.
If I mean, can you imagine if it wobbles and you were typing on it?
But
like
again,
it would just be like all the time.
Yeah, but it's still a less forceful motion, I think, than I don't know. Than the kind of B-roll we need to shoot. I don't know. I get the idea that the height for shooting would be appealing for sure.
Well, I mean, oh.
That was a little bit of progress, but not much.
Yeah. You still hear me?
Yeah, why?
My light just burnt out or something.
Was it the new light you just installed?
Yeah, it goes bink and just like went off.
Oh, well, how about that? Why would it do that? It was an LED, right?
Yeah. The other ones didn't go out though.
Well, maybe you got dud. Just buy that at the hardware store?
It's just the bulbs. I mean, it was. Let me see what happens. Let me try turning it off, turning it back on.
Interesting. Seemed like there was something that I did where he like went through me when I was sliding and it didn't hurt me earlier. But maybe that's not a reliable strategy.
My new house is haunted. Hang on. We'll try.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the old fluorescence in and see if it's the actual light that died.
Okay. Was it the old fixture?
Yeah. I mean they're universal bulbs. The fact that they both went out at the same time.
Oh, both went out? I thought you said just one.
No, both of them went out.
You mean different fixtures or the same fixture?
The same fixture.
That makes you think it was the fixture that died?
Which wouldn't be the end of the world. Because I kind of want to get one that dims. Let's see if one works here. Nope.
That's weird. I wonder what caused it to do that, like right after you switched the bulbs.
Sorry if I'm missing any donations.
I don't think you have.
Do I not have it in right? No, I don't have it in right. There we go. Alright, here we go. Here's the real test. Well, no, looks like it's the fixture.
Well, you may as well get two at that point.
Yeah,
I guess you're going to turn. You're going for
I gotta
like,
change.
huh?
Change I gotta change the ballast. Yeah, and that's I do want to see if they have one that is. I want to get one that is dimmable. As far as I know, they exist. I thought it might be a GCFI, but everything else is still on.
GCFI.
That's the little button on the on some outlets.
Oh, like a breaker trip thing.
Yeah, I'll make it so that it's. I'm still on the Kentucky side. I'm still in the same town too. I'm glad I don't have to haul everything up the steps anymore. But it was very difficult getting everything down. Okay, because I would love to get like a dimmer for these two lights specifically, especially since if I'm sitting there and I want to dim it in back here. I was thinking about putting lights in over here above the TV that are like you can change the colors if you wanted to, like LED colors. But so it's a Lutron for dimmers. But I mean, I don't mind changing out the ballast, so I can just get ballasts that are capable of doing dimmable LED lights, because that would be really cool. Sorry, like now I'm sitting in the dark. It doesn't look that bad, I guess, on camera, does it?
You were in the dark at your old house anyway, weren't you?
No,
It was fairly dark.
No.
Man,
Yeah.
I got through the first phase without getting hit, and then second phase just lost it.
Yeah, send that to me on Discord and I'll check it out. I would like to get LED ball. I mean, these are LEDs I was just putting in here, but they are like the type A, like no rewiring required for like the ballast.
I wonder if it something about the LED could have killed it though.
Yeah, I put LEDs in the other ones and they've been fine.
Right, but I mean, for how long?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it did. I don't know. I don't know. The ones I have in the other one are different though than the ones I just got.
Oh, really? Why
Than the ones that just
why
died.
are they different?
I don't know. They were $16 for two, and the ones I had put in the other ones were $13 each. So more expensive, I guess.
I just assumed you bought them at the same time.
No, I bought some last week that didn't work at all with my fixtures. They were very dim, so I just bought two of these individual ones to see if they worked before I had to return them. Or so I was curious if they'd work, and they said, "Oh, no rewiring required." So, I don't know. I don't mind getting another ballast, but I want to get dimmables because I feel like it gets the ones I put above me were slightly warmer lights versus like the 5000K that I usually get for all my lights, like the daylight bulbs, because it's I don't know, it's just too much light for like late at night also. Oh. No, they're coming back on. That's wild. I don't know what happened, but they just turned back on. The fluorescence did.
Well, that's spooky.
That's really spooky. I'm gonna switch them out and see what happened. I have no idea what would have caused that. Hang on, I'm gonna put the other ones in.
Ben Birdie knows what's happening.
He's been saying.
Indian burial ground.
Yep.
They can't get to you though unless, you know, you have a CRT.
Whoops.
Yeah, you're like 20 times more susceptible than they were. This is like so hard. Like for a game that for the most part is pretty forgiving with its like checkpoints and stuff, like suddenly super tough last boss. At least I hope it's the last boss. It better be. If I can't make it here, I might have to like look up a video to see if I can get any tips. But I mean, I feel like I understand his moves. They're just quick and hard to read sometimes.
Look at that. I have no idea. So they're working. All right, so maybe it is like a bad balance, but I should
probably
I'll look at. Yeah. I do want to get ones that are dimmable. I mean, do I just have to get a dimmable ballast, or is there specific dimmable bulbs that I need to get as well?
Oh, I'm sure you have to get dimmable bulbs as well. I mean, that's how it works for regular light bulbs. So I don't know why.
I know, but
I mean, regular LEDs you do have to get dimmables for, like the ones with the standard base. So I don't know why it would be different for those long ones. Man, the frightening thing is his pattern probably changes when he gets like almost dead. Like he hasn't really done anything different at all yet, but he's hard.
Ben Brody, I'm sorry I missed so many of your donation there. My new house is haunted. I know what's happening. The house is haunted. I know.
You know.
For Love of the Game is saying, what do you think of Battlemania / Troubleshooter? I think it's crazy that it's so expensive now. I just remember it looking like it had really bad box art.
What game? I'm not familiar.
Troubleshooter on the Genesis.
I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, it's
a not great game that got expensive.
No, it's a good game, but I think that it's one of those games that people just like wrote it off for a long time.
Oh man, what should I do?
Someone was saying you should see if you can get close to him and slide into him.
I did that once before, and like I got out of it unscathed, and then like I don't know what happened. Like it seemed more like a fluke. He's just really quick, and like there's not much time to react to his moves. And like that.
Look up.
Huh?
So I'm gonna look up dimmable ballast. I mean, it sounds like they're almost making more Oh, it's making more noise.
Man, I've been stuck on this a long time. I'm gonna see if there's anything I need to look up. Just really doesn't look like there's any facts for it. It's not too surprising. Big whiplash on how hard this guy is, though.
Yeah, hang on.
If I look up a video, I don't know if it's going to really tell me anything.
So I'm gonna take the bulbs out of this because it's like sounds like it's making a lot more noise.
All right, I want y'all to movies about
What?
right here.
There's voice on this video.
That's the fucking reason that I'm making this video.
Oh. You hear what I said though?
No, I'm trying to pay attention to this video. Okay, well, the theme of this video basically is this guy is a jerk, so you gotta cheese him. The video was all about slide kicks, just like slide kicking him, just like getting right up in his face and slide kicking him, but you gotta be the element. Like, that didn't seem like a viable strategy, but in that video, he just... It kind of seemed like you would eventually just get him if you just do this. I guess staying close to him does maybe prevent him from doing that bad sword move. It still seems like this is going to be hard, but maybe... But maybe it'll work. It's worth doing something different than trying to do it legit anyway. I mean, it's still legit, but it seems weird.
Well, I'll see if there's, let's see. What we got here? How can you tell if they're dimmable?
It'll say they're dimmable.
Well, it's not this. I mean, all my bulbs say that they're dimmable, but I haven't seen any of these say that they're dimmable. These type of.
Okay, he does one different move that you gotta double jump over. And everything else seems to be basically the same. I don't this strategy is far from foolproof, but it seems more effective than trying to fight him normally, so. It at least seems to encourage him to use a lot of moves that might jump over you.
Bagger Schmidt, the stuff that you sent me is like, I can see that for like the different area. I'm looking for more of my, like my overhead, like their shop type lights. But I could see doing, this kind of thing for like over on the other side of the room. It's always something, it's always like new quirks you gotta learn about a new house, I guess.
Like it's haunted.
Yeah.
This is a terrible last boss. If doing overhead downward kicks could be effective or as effective, because a lot of his attacks don't come from the top, but
It's all about getting everything perfect so you can redo it. I hear that. $5 donation from Ben Brody saying, "We're whalers on the moon. We carry a harpoon. There ain't no whales, so we'll tall tales and sing our whaling tune." Couldn't agree more. Well, I don't feel like I don't think like this one could be. I mean, unless it's built on an ancient Indian burial ground. I mean, the people that we bought it from are the only ones that have lived here since it was built. So, unless there's like dead bodies underneath, which I mean, isn't impossible.
I think if I do the upward and I can trick him into going the other way, that could be pretty viable.
Is it possible that it just overheated?
I mean, LEDs should be relatively cool, you would think.
Yeah. I don't know if anything else strange happened in the house. This has not happened. This light's been on a bunch down here.
I thought you just changed it today, though.
Yeah, I changed this bulb. It didn't happen with the previous bulbs in it. Another $5 donation from Ben Brody, who says, "Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to do the Mario. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario. Take one step and then again. Let's do the Mario all together now. You got it."
Yep. Do I have it?
Is there? Hopefully, there's no second form.
No, I don't think so, because that video was titled "Last Boss Tutorial."
Can you do that downward kick like multiple times?
Well, he's invincible for like 2 seconds afterward.
It was that's the worst singing ever. I was sorry.
I mean, the video I'm pretty sure did all like slides on the ground, but I feel like there could be some value in doing the slides from above. I mean, it's hard to say.
Well, I'll have to look into this more. Maybe I was just hearing things. I mean, it's weird that happened.
Hearing things. What'd you hear?
I thought it was just like making more noise afterwards.
You mean it was buzzing or rattling?
Yeah,
or something?
just like it seemed like it was making a little bit more like buzzing sound. It looks pretty easy to switch it though. No, there shouldn't be a leak in the roof as far as I know. I mean, we just got a new roof on it a couple of years back. So hopefully it's not that. I mean, it'd have to make its way like from the roof down to the living room, through the living room, and then into the basement for it to hit where it's specifically hit this light. I mean, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to swap this out, though.
Let me watch how this guy in the video did it again.
I mean, this light's been on a lot since in the last 2 weeks.
Because he only got hit twice. He's just doing the slides like insanely fast. Like maybe I just am not hitting the slide aggressively enough.
I wonder if it could be a heat thing because there is a heat vent passing over top of it. And I think the heat, or it got a lot colder out. I need to stream the lighting DIY. I mean, if it comes down to it just being the lighting fixture, I'll just move it to like to the next panel back. And that would not be a problem to do that. Or forward one, really. Got a $5 donation from J.M. Boyd saying, sometimes you need to bypass the ballast to use LED and ship lights. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe when my father-in-law's here next time. I mean, he's a retired electrician. He ran his own business, so it's very possible that he'd be able to figure it out.
All right, I can do this. I don't understand why this works. Like, it does seem more effective when you're just like mashing the slide as fast as possible, even though he's invincible. Like it just seems like it maybe puts you in a better position to avoid his attacks if you're just like rapid dashing. Although not going great for me right now.
I'm just reading a thread on some message board. Yeah, I bought I have a ballast compatible LED bulb.
I feel like at one point I knew what specifically the ballast in a light fixture was, but I've long since forgotten.
It's just it's like this, like the power thing. Where it's like in the metal shielding in the center. Like the wiring goes into that, and then it feeds to the bulbs. But I don't know. Maybe I'll put them back in, like let it see if it happens again. I'm not super concerned, but I'll look into getting it fixed or replacing it in the future. I'll research it a little bit. It would be cool to get something that was on a dimmer, though. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be repaired, but it's not that bad. I mean, considering the stuff that we did to the old house, it's not bad. I don't mind little stuff like figuring out little quirks and stuff like this. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I don't think. I'll figure it out. It's just one of many little things that we need to figure out. Didn't move too far. It's like 2.5 miles, 3 miles away from the old house. For Love of the Game is saying, what if you attack 2 or 3 times, then give yourself space so you don't get grabbed? It seems like most dangerous.
The thing is, it's been most effective like when I'm just like doing it super aggressively. Like I was trying to be more like conservative with it at first, and then I looked at the video again, and he just, even though you aren't hurting him, it just seems like when you are rapidly dashing at him, like you stand the best chance at like avoiding his attacks for some reason. Because that guy in the video, like he only got hit twice during the fight. I don't fully understand why, but it's really the dash that is the more dangerous thing, not the grab.
We thought about renting out the old place, but I don't really have any desire to be a landlord.
Yeah, that sounds like a big hassle.
I mean, it'd be fine if you had good tenants. There's no way to know. And also, like, I know you can hire other companies that will handle all of it for you. But I think we're ready just want to sell it and be done with it.
But sometimes you can like slide through his dash, and it just, I don't know what about the time. Too slow. I don't know what about the timing makes it like that. But I don't know, the guy in that video was just, he was doing the best when he was just like hitting him like crazy, even though it doesn't make sense because of his invincibility. It just, sometimes you just seem to avoid his attack, or your kick like deflects yourself off of his dash, I don't understand it. But his attacks are just too difficult to avoid normally.
Gotta chuck your weapon while slide attacking.
The guy in the video only did that while in the last form, and that was just because it was easier to do with that basic potion. I don't really. I mean, I'll try, but I don't really see the value in it. Seems like it's more likely to just mess me up, but. Because it's not like I'm going to hit him twice.
Joshua Helmicky, that's exactly right. Like, I just don't want to have to deal with that anyways. The uncertainty.
Yeah.
A $5 donation from Rich. Thank you. With no comment. Well, Rich, we hope you're enjoying this final battle.
Yeah, so I've been on this for like, what, an hour? This is ridiculous.
Attack of the Pixels is saying, I think you guys don't realize that once Try famously spent 10 whole hours fighting the final boss in Panzer Dragoon Order on a stream. He never gives up when he's determined.
Well, I've felt like giving up, but I'm going to see if there's another final boss video, although, I mean, I don't know if it's going to get much better than that. This person's basically doing the same thing.
I'm going to put these bulbs back in. So I'm going to see if it happens again. I'm going to leave it and see if it happens. Oh, Ben Brody with a pretty good question for $2. He says, what are your favorite items at a Chinese buffet? The desserts.
They're usually not that good, though.
I always think it's funny because there's so many desserts usually.
Yeah, well, I mean,
my favorite thing is like I like the pizza, and I like
the pizza.
I don't know, like Chinese buffets always have like pizza.
Yeah.
Like I think it's funny because
I like the
I like the General Tso's chicken. My favorite.
Yeah, I like the
rice.
sesame chicken, fried rice. The one near me has soba noodles. Like the garlic bread for some reason. Oh, they've got actually the one near me has these lemon chicken wings. And those are my favorite thing there. They're pretty amazing. Like usually that's if I do go there, that's the reason I go. So I'm like, oh man, I could really go for those lemon chicken wings. I mean, that other video was just doing nothing but just like super aggressively sliding into them.
It's probably tool assisted.
No, I don't think so.
So
I don't think people do anything tool assisted with this game. I mean, it's too obscure.
come on, you want to come up and say hi? Come here. Come here. There she is. She's like a regular guest now.
Yeah.
I think she's liking the house though now.
Oh, crap. Ah, it was definitely my best run, though.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there. It's stupid, though. It's a terrible fight.
Matt Weeks, we are planning on we'll do something, do a game room tour for sure once we're all situated.
Yeah, I mean, I've been shooting footage, you know, here and there along the way. So, luckily, I think the video will be easy to put together.
You lose 2 hearts at the beginning.
What? I don't know what you mean.
Raxel was saying that you lose 2 hearts at the beginning.
I mean, not always.
Tech assistant, I have thought about doing Atmos.
I really want to just. I kind of want to get it before Resident Evil 3 comes out because I really wanted it for Resident Evil 2. FYI, though, I didn't realize this, but John told me that you can't get Atmos on PS4. Like it, so you wouldn't be able to get it with like your copy of Resident Evil 2. It's only on Xbox One X in terms of current consoles. I'm sure it'll be on PS5, but probably won't be patched into Resident Evil 2.
I mean, I've thought about doing it. I think what I'm going to do for the setup down here, though, is for rear speakers, is I'm going to get in-ceiling rear speakers.
I'm pretty sure RE2 has Atmos. I think so, but I mean, I'm not 100% positive. I definitely read somewhere that, like, you can hear, like, what floor Mr. X is on, which sounds awesome.
It was a $5 donation from Ben Brody, who says, 50 million, but you're only ever allowed to eat at buffets. No other kinds of restaurants or home cooking is allowed for you.
Sounds unhealthy.
Yeah. Do you get a personal trainer? I guess with 50 million, you can just like hire a personal trainer.
I mean, I'm sure there are people who, like, basically live that, though. If they live, like, right next door to one.
But I think that I mean, I'll think about it. I mean, there's no reason. They go on top of your speakers, right? Or they go in the ceiling?
Well, there's two types. There's some that sit on top of the front speakers and then shoot up toward the ceiling with the idea that it, like, reflects back down. But apparently that's not considered anywhere near as ideal as like actually having speakers on the ceiling. Like I don't know if the effect is really worth it with the ones you put on top of your speakers or not. I just don't know. I mean I've never heard it in person, so I mean I just don't know.
If anybody in the chat has it, do you have the in-ceiling ones? Is it possible to get ones that are like already in like drop ceiling sized tiles? Because I know that they exist for like regular speakers. Like that's what I want to do. Is I want to get speakers that are like for my rear speakers. I want to get in-ceiling ones, and they just come in tiles that are already for drop ceilings.
Yeah, like with your situation, there's no reason to not, I feel, do it in the ceiling.
Yeah. And I think for the front speakers, I'm gonna end up doing like the in-wall. And that's what John talked me into doing. Is doing in-wall front speakers. The ceilings down here, I mean, it juts down a little bit in one part, but it's I don't know, maybe like 8 feet tall.
Wrong thing.
Standing speakers, I'm sure they are better than in wall, but I want something that's just gonna look really clean.
I'm really happy with my floor standing speakers now being like my front speakers. Originally they were my surround speakers.
Mm-hmm.
But like the way I've gotten positioned now, they just sound a lot better than they ever did.
I'm not planning on getting a projector. I don't really have a space for it.
I've been tempted to like I think I could like shine a projection screen above the PVMs in the new room. I think it would actually work kind of decently. I've been tempted, but that's more of a someday thing.
Magistex and Techno Daddy for Atmos ceiling install examples. Okay.
How many more attempts should I make?
Well, Ben Brody says you are not allowed to give up.
Uh-oh.
Are the Atmos speakers, are they all that expensive?
And they basically just take up one of your, like, you know, I think you plug them into the same spot on the receiver that would be for like extra surround speakers, but I think you like have to do a setting in the receiver to like make it for Atmos instead, I think.
Yeah, you probably have to just change like the profile or whatever. Even something from mono price would work. Well, let's look into them. Let's look at them right now.
I'm mad at mono price right now because it's going to, by the time some cables arrive next week, it's going to have been 2 weeks ago that I ordered them. Or nearly 2 weeks ago.
So does it really require even like specific special kinds of speakers? Looks like because they have a bunch of in-ceiling speakers.
No, I don't think it has to be a special kind of speaker.
Because I mean, right here it's like looking like they're like,
the in-ceiling ones.
yeah, like $62 or something.
I mean, you just hope that they match up decently enough with what you've got, in terms of sound.
Yeah. JJJ John with a $2 donation saying, "Never back down, try."
It's making me feel anxious here.
Magus 12,000 BC is saying you're being far too impatient with your strikes.
Impatient? No. Look at the. I'm not being impatient enough. Look at the videos online where the people actually beat this guy and don't even get hit that much. I mean, it looks like, I mean, for some reason when you just do the rapid fire ones, you seem to be less at risk of being hit by one of his attacks. I can't explain it, but that just, the 2 videos I looked at, they were even more aggressive than me because like the timing is kind of finicky, and I'm struggling with like doing as rapid fire slides as they do in the 2 videos I looked at. I mean, I know it looks like I'm doing nothing because he's invincible, but it seems to mostly help. I don't understand. Okay, I guess the shots do hit you on the way down. I thought they only hurt you when they blew up. I guess you have to be at the side when he does that. I guess I understand that now. Like sometimes when you're aggressively sliding, you can just like not get hit by his dash. Sometimes you do.
You need Atmos DTSX receiver that can dedicate the speakers accordingly. The only special Atmos speakers are those that tack on directional upward or ceiling corner ones. I have the, I mean, I think that our receivers completely should support it, as far as I know.
I'm pretty sure it supports it.
Newfie 20 is saying maybe the last boss got patched after that video.
I doubt it.
I mean, is there only one example of somebody doing this approach?
No, I found 2. I know, Sandy. I know. I know. What is it, Sandy? What is it? What is it? I'm doing terrible, Sandy. I'm just doing terrible.
Are in-ceiling speakers difficult to install?
I mean, if they're designed for the ceiling tiles, then it sounds like that would be easy.
Yeah, I was just hoping that they would have ones that were just like in the tiles already. I have a drop ceiling tile, but I think it's just the ones, like these ones specifically, are just like really crappy because they like fall apart very easily. The guy on YouTube has one more heart than you.
Well, I don't know how he got it. I wish I had it.
I'm sure I could buy new tiles or not these. It just seems like a lot to replace eventually. But I mean, I don't mind doing it over time. Well, what I might do, this was John Linneman's suggestion, is to build a panel on the wall that just like has speaker inputs into it, so I can just like plug my receiver into it for all the speakers. It's just like a panel that has everything connected to it on the inside, and then I can just plug my speakers or I could just plug my receiver into those. MLiG. The name of the stream is the name of the game being played. It should tell you exactly what the game is.
It's an okay
also
game except for the final boss.
It should also tell the name of the game in the interface. I mean, it's. I mean, you just. You mean, are you just watching full screen? A $2 donation from Ben Brody saying, "Some say you should have streamed Ape Escape 2."
Not a terrible idea.
Bag of Schmidt is saying, I hate to break it to you, but it looks like there is a second form.
There better not be. It said final boss on the video that I looked at.
I'll look it up now.
I mean, this is just one of the most irritating final bosses I've ever seen. I mean, even when you're doing the Cheez-It strategy, it's still tough.
I mean, it seems like this guy is like throwing attacks at him.
I mean, I tried that too, and it doesn't. I mean, he's just extraordinarily tough to dodge. Like if you're just like
I don't
attacking
think he's
him normal.
I think he's like doing 3 dashes, and so he is pushed away when he jumps. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and is like more like of a measured.
I'm not convinced there's a grand plan to it. I don't know. Sandy's getting fussy. It's late. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Is it true if there's something after this? Like, can you...
It doesn't look like it to me.
Sandy, I know. Sandy, do you need to pee? Do you need to go pee?
I didn't realize it was almost 1 o'clock. I mean, just like looking at it, looks like. Ben Brody says, "Keep going, or I'll never donate again." Well, let's see here. I mean, it's like 1, 2, 3. Oh, it looks like the final boss.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Listen, all you gotta do is slide kick his ass.
I know!
No, I just, it's just funny because this guy just.
Oh yeah, I think that was the first video I watched.
I say you give it 10 more minutes. 1 o'clock, we'll call it a night.
That run was going really well and then it wasn't. I mean, you would think that just like by random chance, I would have eventually killed him by now.
Yeah. See, there you go. It's like 1, 2, 3. So like when
I
you
don't
get
think
that jump,
I don't think there's anything to it though. I don't think it's that complicated. Sometimes you get hit and sometimes you don't.
Ben Brody says at 1 a.m. you can take a break, but you have to beat this boss on stream sometime later.
I mean, I'm willing to do that. Maybe next week I'll just like feed you this on Discord. if you're streaming.
I mean, you could. You did it.
It was just,
I
it was just pure luck.
I was watching. I just wanted to say anything because I saw. I was like, "Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it?" You
There's
did it.
A Finn question mark.
Now it's time for the second form. Whew.
Oh, Faye was actually the orb of light. Twist. I know, Sandy. Come here. Come here. Everything is happy again.
Man,
That was.
good job.
I mean, I was fighting that boss for like almost 2 hours.
Was it that long?
Yeah, I
can't
think
believe
so.
it's- I guess you're fighting when everything happened with my lights. Try never gives up. It's true. That's fun ending credits. That's cool. Everyone gets a picture too.
Well, not everyone, I guess.
When I heard you go, I thought you died with like one more hit left or something.
Often my my success sounds and failure sounds are the same. Overall, decent game, but that fall boss was a load of crap. In terms of like NES like games on modern platforms, I did prefer Oniken, but I actually still haven't beaten that either. I need to get back to that.
Yeah, $5 donation from Rich saying treats for Sandy.
Oh, well, we'll bank that for another time. You just had a treat. And you're going to the vet tomorrow, so you better not eat too many treats before then, huh?
You did it though.
I
said 10 more minutes. You did it like basically.
It's really probably because I took Sandy out to the bathroom. It's probably what did it.
Yeah.
You know, just that.
Like shotgunned a pack of cigarettes while you're out there. You're to chill out a little bit. It's like, oh man, here we go.
Oh me.
Well, is that gonna do it? Didn't quite hit 900 this week, but we still had a pretty steady 400 something.
I don't know why this many people are still here, but
this is what they're here for. They wanted to see you overcome all the odds.
I guess so.
Anyways, I'm gonna stream next week. I think I can stream in my new setup as long as this light over here works. I'm gonna put the bulbs back in, see if it happens again. I think it might have overheated from the the heating vent.
Yeah, but if that's going to be a problem, you're still going to need to replace it or something. You know, that could be a recurring problem.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna put it in and see when it happens again. You know, see what causes that. But I mean,
all right, well,
we'll figure it out. Well, thanks to everybody. From Ben Brody saying no streaming. Your house is haunted. Well,
we'll find out by then, won't we?
Yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see if hopefully everything works as well as at the old one. Anyways, thanks to everybody who hung out and everyone who donated, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. We'll see you then.
Good night.
Good night.